so crazy that we voted for Trump. We trust him with the word that he promised us Latinos. This is crazy that starting next week, multiple cities will be hitting immigration. That is so crazy that multiple people are scared to go to work. Where I work at, a lot of Latinos did not go to work. And that's crazy because we have a living too.
God protect us? Guess this lady never read Matthew 4:7, where Jesus, who is God, quoted Deuteronomy 6:16 and asserted that we shouldn't put ourselves into a bind where God needs to save us. But God is merciful and gracious. Nevertheless, from Genesis to Revelation, we see that if you mess around, God will allow you to find out. This lady, along with every Hispanic and minority American, had all the warning one could ever want or even imagine having. Donald's decency-defying, despicable, and disparaging dirt that constantly dribbled from its disgusting donut-munching mouth. I say it because I don't recognize that rapist racist as human. That's another thing. Why would you trust a convicted thief? A thief. When I think trustworthy, I think thief. That's the first thing that pops into my mind. Trustworthy thief. Why would you trust a thief and a rapist to do good? In addition to an abhorrent record and fascist rhetoric, God gave you the Demon's Playbook, Project 2025, which outlines in black and white their discriminatory agenda that screams devilish deep state destruction of freedom and equality. Yet you vote for it anyway. Now that you're getting the devastation as advertised, you want to call on God? Where was God in the voting booth? You don't get to pimp good out like that. You don't get to play stupid games, and when you earn your stupid prizes, exchange your just reward for something sensible. Perhaps like a VP, prosecutor that would have built on Build Back Better. Perhaps, seems reasonable to me. When it comes to voting, all purchases are final. So your veterans will be detained and harassed, like the Puerto Rican who, by being Puerto Rican, is a U.S. citizen. You racist poop stains. Also, in Newark, New Jersey, there's no illegal, immigrants in, Texas. There aren't any illegal immigrants in Florida. What's up with all this blue state? It just reeks of political agenda. I digress. Also, in Newark, New Jersey, your vote has afforded other hard-working, tax-paying, law-abiding, contributing members of society to have their rights violated. Their Fourth Amendment right outlined in the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. But you voted in the kakistocracy with its rapist, child sex trafficking advocates, Linda McMahon, thieves, Donald, Satan-level liars, Donald again, domestic terrorists, Donald, J6ers, which despise the Constitution and the law and order it promotes. Why do you think they talking about we have to we have to change and reform the FBI and CIA. Why? Because they went after your law breaking ass. You voted in the grifters and embezzlers. Don't cry for righteousness now. When Donald raids your children's schools to kidnap your kids, or when devilish Donald's Gestapo drags your sweet abuelita out of church, you voted for this. You screwed your own people, your own pride, your own heritage for some huevos y gasolina. By the way, how's that working out for you? Eggs are up 30% and gas is steadily creeping up. But what did you expect from a kleptocracy? Now, please understand me, man. Like I've said, and I will continue to say, I am not one of those talking about some soft landing. I feel like we should line all y'all up and kick you right in the crotch. Straight up. This is not a game. This is not just bad politics. If it was bad politics, it'd be bad politics. I mean, George Bush sucked. Cheney was garbage. I mean, bad politics, okay, well, I can deal with bad politics. But we're literally talking about rapists. We're talking about, like, abusers, grifters, embezzlers, like, crime, like disgusting, despicable individuals, like, and you knew about it, like 34 felony convictions, like you knew about it. Project 2025, you knew. I'm not talking about no soft landing. We tried to tell you, dog, like we didn't even try. They told you. How do you have the devil right in your face like, I am the devil? I am going to kill you. I am going to steal from you. I am going to destroy everything that's important to you. Vote for me. Sounds like a good idea to me. and then you want to cry later. You can't do that. You can't, Lord, please. Play stupid games, man. You win stupid prizes. But the thing that really gets me is I didn't vote for this. God, give me strength, man. I didn't vote for this crap, man. There's millions that didn't vote for this. Millions. Now we got to deal with the fact that our country is literally having its throat slit and we're watching the life drain out of our country's eyes because your stupid ass, God, please give me, your goofy ass wanted to save 20 cents at the gallon. Why would you think somebody that would steal from banks who hold all the purse strings, if they'll steal from that, what makes you think they care about your gas prices as they poop on a gold toilet? Like, if stupid had a face, I swear to man, no, you don't get a soft landing. Like Colombia President Gustavo Petro said, migrants aren't criminals. So why handcuff them and fly them into Colombia's sovereign airspace with American military aircraft without corresponding with that country? Then after being denied, which of course any country would naturally do, you got enemy aircraft you don't even know about, military aircraft flying into your sovereign space. What do you think? I'm surprised I'm not surprised because they knew they would get their asses kicked. Straight up. There's no question about it. They don't want to start beef. But what would America do if some other country just flew their stuff into our airspace? Come on, man. Come on, dude. But what do you expect? After they do what any country would do and deny that nonsense, Donald declares financial war on Colombia and removes their dignitaries and representatives from America. This is actions that a nation takes as a preamble to war. That's exactly what a government does before declaring war. So much for being a peaceful president, which was yet another demonic deception delivered by Donald worshipers, man. You do realize it costs $800,000 for this moron to flex his impotent muscles flying 80 migrants via military aircraft opposed to approximately 30,000 via private planes? Like, we're talking private airlines, United, Alaska, JetBlue, which is how all of the real presidents did it because it's fiscally responsible. Meanwhile, while spending recklessly like the radical MAGA fascists do, he's attacking the 14th Amendment, which declares birthright citizenship and destroying all pathways to citizenship for non-criminal immigrants like DACA and Biden's humanitarian parole initiative. So even illegal immigrants are being targeted. What the hell did you expect from a convicted felon, rapist, and pathological liar? Over 30,000 documented lies. It couldn't be the truth or any modicum of human decency. The dude's a rapist and a diddler. People don't talk about that diddler. What about his, albeit accused? I don't put nothing past this devil. Nothing. What about his rape of the 13-year-old Katie Johnson? That's a moniker. That's like a Jane Doe term, not her real name. Of course, the many cases from the nameless victim made it nowhere because when you're rich and white in America, you can rape minors, get away with it, and be the president with 91 felony counts against you. That was one of his many heinous Epstein exploits when they were besties. I'm talking about Epstein. Yet, no one talks about the Epstein alliance. No one talks about the Epstein alliance? And this is your man of God? This is who God sent from the heavens to save us. And you ignore all this for some eggs and 20 cents at the pump? Which you're never going to see, by the way. I hope your goofy ass realize that by now. And you Constitution hacks that clamor about freedom, the freedom of speech, and gun rights, your precious gun rights, that shall not be infringed upon. What about illegal search and seizures? Not one of those raids or these raids that are actively going on right now as we speak, as you watch this, not one of those raids have been supported or will be supported by a warrant. I'm going right. I don't use that language like we may see. No, dude. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Where are the warrants? Not one. Hey, MAGA maggots. This ain't about immigration. It's about the eradication of all of our freedoms. All of your freedoms. Not just Hispanics and blacks. This is classic normalizing behavior. If we allow this for some, it'll eventually happen to us all. And real talk, with the cacistocracy you've voted in, it'll be a lot faster than eventually. They've already started their manipulation campaign for ending your right to vote. I just said the other day, I can't wait to see how they con you morons into voting not to vote again. But they don't have to. Not with MAGA control of the legislative, the judicial, and the executive branch. All they have to do is introduce legislation to end term limits, and the MAGA morons in the Supreme Court, they're going to uphold it. Didn't Donald say, I'm going to fix it so good, you won't have to vote again? And what are we doing? Watching Netflix and funny TikToks? Why do you think Donald got involved in saving TikTok? The deep state, of which Donald is the kingpin, wants us distracted, dejected, entertained, uninvolved. And now the U.S. government could have 50% stake in TikTok? What? Why? How? Like, when? Like, what? All you conspiracy-brained MAGA maggots can say Democrats can create hurricanes, but can't piece together why it would be bad news for Donald's Gestapo to have control of social media? Let me give you a hint. Russia, North Korea, Hungary, of which, and I'm speaking about Hungary, hails Donald's biggest quasi-dictator mentor, Viktor Orban. None of those dictators are big fans of freedom of the press. They control the stories told to their people. And following his fascist impulses, Donald issued a gag order on the CDC, NIH, and FDA, which mirrors his lack of transparency regarding COVID-19. And we know how he wet the bed on that issue. And we're still dealing with his inflation because he straight fumbled when we actually needed him to be a governor of some sort, a leader of some sort, have vision or plans of some sort. No, he making jokes, Kung flu and drink bleach. But don't miss what just happened. He was dishonest. He wasn't forthright about COVID-19. Now that we have this bird flu deal going on, he's telling the CDC, NIH, and FDA, don't communicate with ordered them. Don't tell the public nothing. Bro, you don't see the problem with that? But this is what fascists do. They control the storyline for their subjects. So TikTok is going to be one of the other arms of Donald's manipulation campaign. Notice I don't say, well, let's wait and see and we'll find out. I don't have to wait and see. We don't have to wait and see what a convicted rapist and felon that surrounds himself with other diddlers, rapists, abusers, and embezzlers is going to do. He's going to do the worst things possible. Duh! Notice how the whole White House press corps doesn't question anything Donald says. Like nothing, which is very creepy. Dude just said as the so-called president of the United States, this dude just said, a boy leaves home for school and returns 2 days later as a girl. Are you kidding me? Okay, so let's try to, okay, let's just talk through this a little slower. A boy leaves home today for school. First, he's missing. Okay, so where's my damn son? Like, where's my son? Don't worry. He comes back 2 days later as a girl. This is what you voted in. What the hell are you talking about? This is made up garbage. But is he questioned? Nope. This isn't strong or sexy. It's fascist. General Milley said he is a fascist to the core. So why would it be shocking that he's modeling himself after Orban, who rigged the electoral system in Hungary so his party wins automatically despite the veneer of a democratic voting process? Seems eerily similar to what Donald's been working on in the United States. First, by sowing deep seeds of deceitful doubt in our voting system, stacking the Supreme Court with Donald's sycophants, gutting the government of apolitical workers loyal to the Constitution instead of Donald, pardoning convicted child pornography abuser and J6er Andrew Kyle Grigsby. Did you know that? Donald just pardoned someone guilty of child pornography. He was locked up in Kentucky for this. Convicted. Not alleged. Convicted. Sentenced. Oh, it gets better. If you could even imagine it getting any more twisted and dark than that. Oh, there's more. Donald, the devil, pardoned one of the biggest drug dealers the world has ever seen. The creator of the dark web's Silk Road, which was the most extensive online drug dealing site ever. William Albrecht. But he'll break into your kids' school with heavily armed police to drag out the criminal kids. They play too much Splatoons. I mean, of course. Donald is a convicted felon and has surrounded himself with convicted criminals and accused criminals. He is a gangster. He is in the same vein as the drug dealers. Don't forget about Katie Johnson. And there are other minors that have accused him of sexual abuse and rape filed in the courts. But Donald's resources are too long for us petty, pathetic, small people to fight back against. Of course, he's good with pardoning diddlers. He was never about ridding America of the blight that the criminal element has inflicted on our nation, which is verified by his pardoning of William Albrecht, who, by the way, was in prison for life where his ass should have rotted until he died. I hope he had consecutive life sentences. So if his punk ass was revived, he'd be right back in prison. That's where he deserved to be. Not according to Donald, though. But why pardon Albrecht? Like, Grigsby, the diddler, stormed the Capitol. So he's a loyal, off-the-book soldier that Donald will call upon. All of those J6ers, what do you think that he did? All dictators, all fascist leaders, all those nasty people that used to be enemies of America. Now they like cheerleading, because Donald is like their biggest fan. All sick, nasty, power-hungry, oppressive dictators and fascists to the core do this. They have the legal police, the recognized body, and they have the off-the-book blacklisted soldiers that they could call upon to do some grisly attacks on their enemies. And that's exactly what Donald's going to do. That's exactly why he pardoned Grigsby and all those other J6 felonious murderers of police. Everybody likes to talk about how they injured. They killed an officer. What about that guy they crushed to death? I ain't gonna forget him. Like, oh, he just news. What did he do? Dude is screaming for his life. Yeah, Donald's gonna call upon those people for some nasty attacks off the books, black ops on law-abiding American citizens. But what's with Albrecht? And you think for 1 second, this felonious fascist who's already said he suspend the Constitution if it fit his fancy and hasn't wasted 1 second breaking the law by violating the 4th and 14th Amendment, won't take your guns away and won't hold true to ending your right to vote or rig the system like his esteemed mentor Orban so that he or whatever maggot he decides wins every time. And there won't be a Miles Taylor whistleblower this time. Nope. Just a bunch of rapey convicts and accused criminals ensuring that their felonious kingpins, every villainous realm is fulfilled. It's like I'm watching an episode of Batman and the Joker has gassed the nation into voting him into power. But where's Batman? We, the people, have to be the heroes of this story by standing up against tyranny, injustice, bigotry, misogyny, the death of our nation, and their kleptocracy.